put your lube in the morning into your piston, and that is going to keep everything lubricated. So basically where that sits will be inside the machine there. So it goes all around that seal there, and then it just keeps that pump lubricated. So once a day, right, that is. I had one of my students that rang me when he was on holiday and said, Jamie, I'm just wondering, is it every day or just when you use it? I said, just when you use it, mate. He said, that makes more sense. I said, why is that? He said, because I've got my neighbour feeding the cats and oiling the pump for me. I was like, that's mental. So it's quite funny really, because I thought he was joking. He's like, no, I'm actually being serious. I was like, okay. So you don't have to get Doris from next door to oil your pump for you, right? So literally over the top of the piston there, look, and just a couple of squirts, 1, 2, 3. I do about 3 squirts over the piston. That's it. Little squeezes. Yeah. That's going to keep that pump lubricated. That's just moving up and down and stop any paint sticking to it. And that's it, really. Now that that's all running, yeah, I've known the pump's clear. I've checked my ball bearings, yeah, and now we can add into the paint, and then away we go. Right, so we're going to do that now. Bit boring colour though, isn't it? It's white. So starting the pump. Yeah, and re-priming now. So we have to pour the paint through the piston into the wet end and then prime the pump, yeah? So what I'll do is I'll switch that down into the prime position, that switch, yeah? So that's aiming downwards now, and that's going towards this, yeah? And then we're going to turn the pump back up. Basically, we'll just wait until we see the paint. Off it goes, yeah? Once the paint's going through, I'll chuck that either back into the hopper or leave it into that bucket. With the gun, what I would say is, when you're pulling the trigger, yeah, you want to keep that on when you're about to put it into the spray position. So once it starts pressurising, some people think they see the paint, they go, oh, and then it goes, the pump goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then you go, oh, it was, and then you put it again, and it just kaboom, yeah? So the best thing to do is, with these guns, is pull the trigger all the way back, slip the safety on the gun forward, and then that trigger will stay on the whole time. Aim it down the side of the bucket and then turn it up, yeah? And then you've got free hands then to do what you want. Watch it as it's going through, look. You'll see it's just water at the moment because it's what was left in there last time. Once you see the paint, turn it off, and what I would always generally do is just take that back off there, look. Then come over to stop it dripping and go back into the paint, right? And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that I'm just spraying paint and not water. So what I'll do is I'll just run that for about 10 seconds, just back into it itself. And off it goes, yeah? And I'll do is before I move that, take that safety back off, job's good. Obviously, when you're spraying, guys, and you're changing tips around, there's a safety on the gun. Pull the trigger back, slip your safety all the way back. That's going to stop you pulling that trigger. Obviously, the last thing you want to do is inject yourself with paint. There's a guy in America actually grabbed a hose, paint went in his hand, shot on the back of his neck. Do you know what I mean? So, very dangerous. Yes, when you're spraying. Make sure that your safety's on when you're changing anything around, especially if you're running pressures like 2,500 psi. Very, very dangerous. So with the tip guard, what you do is you take your tip guard and your tip, and what I would suggest doing first is just slot your tip into the guard first. It can only go in one way, and that is front ways with the fatter edge at the front. Yeah, that's how it would sit inside the guard. Yeah, it can only go in one direction, right? Like the band. Safety on the gun, yeah. What I always do is I keep my hand behind the trigger and I put my finger on that to make sure it stays on. Yeah, just out of habit. The reason I do that as well is because when I am doing it sometimes is you forget to put the safety on the gun, you get a bit confident, yeah, your hand's behind the trigger, and you're just automatically in this position, yeah. The tip's sideways, so the paint's not going to come out anywhere. I'm always doing these things to ensure that if I don't put that on, then nothing's going to happen to me. But again, it's as you go on with spraying, you'll get, I would say you're in a rush, you know, human error, you'll forget to put the safety on. Yeah, so if you get into this practice and put your hand on the trigger, keeping the tip sideways, and putting all these things, you won't forget everything. Screw the tip on like so, because the tip's sideways, nice, my hand's nice and out the way there. I get into that position where I'm nice and tight, yeah. I'll flick it forward, look, and then I'm in spray now, forward, yeah. and then I can take my safety off the gun and I'm ready to go. And obviously what I'm going to be doing now is setting my pressure of the machine to test it onto my paper. So
that primer, you use that neat.
So all my paint is always neat. Yeah. So if you spray with our paints, and use decent paints, not just ours, but like good paint, we've made a good paint, you won't need to fit it.
And that's your go-to primer there?
This is our brand.
Is it?
Yeah. So this is like 3-year process, mate. So you'll see, mate, like the top coat is beautiful, man. Like it's a good paint, honestly. Like it's the best I've used anyway, and I've been doing it a long time. But it's been a slug to get it right, put it that way. There's a lot of mistakes. So we are bringing out our own colours as well, but we can match anything at this point now. Any colour can be matched. Yeah, if there's something we can't match, we can match it if you send the sample in. But it's very rare that you have to do that. Most things we've got. Yeah.
What's
so.
The prices of that?
Anna.
We've literally just launched it, so yeah, if I can send you all.
So this is the first time it's gone in this tin. It's the first time I've seen it.
We're doing bigger barrels of it then as well, like that?
Yeah, so basically, with the other brands, so this is where they get you, right? You can only buy it in 5 litres.
Yeah.
We sell it in litres, as well as 5 litres. So what you'll find is for kitchens, you go 5 and that extra little bit at the next tin always goes into that next tin. So now you can buy 6 instead of buying 10. Do you know what I mean? So we're slightly more expensive, like in terms of like, I think it works about 12 quid more expensive than 5 litres, but you actually say, because you're buying smaller batches then at that point. So, but it's very good paint. Like I said, it dries really quick, it hangs well, it doesn't run very easy. It's got all the stuff in there to make it really sprayable. Like I'm talking like 1200 psi, freezing cold out of the van, mate. Spray it like water. Yeah. What I'll do is grab a hand masker in a minute and just put some paper on the wall there. Hello, testing. Right, so basically what we're going to be doing is setting up our pressures and working out what pressure we need to spray out, basically. So what you would do generally is put some paper up on the wall and then take your tip, put your tip in, put your paint in, obviously, set your pressures, then start working upwards. Yeah, I wouldn't start under 1000 psi. Yeah, I honestly don't think anything sprays under 1000 psi. It'd be like coming out like syrup. So I would always start a grand. Do you mean every time? So what I'll do is turn the pressure up. Look. Yeah, so that's on 1000 psi now. Okay. So the camera's just there. So. So I was just saying then, I'd always start 1000 psi minimum. Yeah, don't start under that. Nothing really sprays under 1000 psi, right? So the good thing about these sprayers, it's got a thing called smart technology on it. You know, when the pressure's like dun 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 dun. So basically, it makes the board more sensitive. So with the GX21, you'll see it like this. So you're losing like 300-400 psi every time you pull the trigger. So if you're spraying at 1000, you're probably spraying like 800. Right. Yeah, but with this, you'll see that dial go dum 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 dum. It's called smart technology. I've gone somewhere here. So the best thing to do is sort your hose out before you put pressure into it. No, that's going to annoy me, sorry. No, it's gone somewhere, isn't it? There we go. So I put a 7.5 metre hose on this, because I'm only working from here to there. So you can change the hoses around if you want to. Yeah, it comes with a 15 metre standard, but they're not expensive, the hoses. So if you want to add a 7.5, you can. Yeah, or you can swap it out for a 7.5 metre hose. So safety's off the gun. Yeah, and what I'll do then, start spraying, So you'll see these here, and these are called tails, also known as fingering. Don't ask me who called it that, but there we go. So that means that the pressure needs to go up. Because this is a primer, it's going to need a bit more pressure than the top coat, So what I'll do is I'll go straight back up then on the side of the sprayer there. I'm going to get to 1300 psi. Okay, so better, but not gone. The paint is cold, it's going to take more pressure. And the last thing you want to do is listen to people online. Someone said, well, I was spraying it at 1200 psi. What day was it? What colour was it? How much pigment's gone into it? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things, and so the pressure's right when it sprays right. That's it. It doesn't matter what the pressure is. Obviously, if you're like 3000 psi woodwork, something needs to change. You know what I mean? But don't get caught up in what pressure, what tip. It's how's it working, how's it performing, what day is it, what colour is it, yeah, more so. So that is just over it's a 1600 psi there. Yeah, so I reckon if we take it to 18, it's just about go. Okay, so it tells about the edge now. That's it. But again, the pressure will determine, yeah, how much. Like this is, I mean, this is cold, but I'll get a top coat in there because basically the primers are a lot more thicker because there's more fillers in it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's doing their job. So you're always going to have more. But even at 1800 psi, you can still see it's pretty darn smooth. Yeah. So, and obviously it doesn't smell. There's no smell to it at all, like nothing. So, but you can request to have it smell as well. So if you ask us to do it, we can put in like lavender. If you want to, yeah. Yeah. So you can pick a flavour. So you hope when your current comes in, oh, it smells lovely. And it lasts for about a week, and there you go. It is good. It's a good little touch. It does help. But
What did you say? You put it on your quote. What flavour do you want?
yeah, well, I wouldn't give the client the option, to be honest, mate.